Right, this is a market review for Euro Dollar for the week that began at 2nd of June 2025 to Friday, 4th of June 2025. Now I'm going to go through the whole week and what happened and what I saw and the couple of trades that I was able to catch. And also I will be talking through my thought process during those trading sessions. As always, I'm trading between 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time for the London Open, and then 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. New York Open, New York AM session. But during this gap over here, I usually, depending on the opportunity, I may take it, and then during an opportunity that will, if there will be an opportunity after 12 p.m. if there are no news, then I may be taking this trade. So I guess the only time where I do not trade at all is between 12 a.m. all the way up to 3 a.m. in the morning. So for Monday, there was no trade for me. As you can see, that this was Friday high, and this was pretty much the previous week high. And as you can see, we began Monday with this huge momentum to the upside. There was no trading opportunity for me during London session. There was no trading opportunity pre-New York AM session. But I guess this was an opportunity. We can see a sweep here and then a market social shift, a break of structure multiple times. But because we had already taken these highs, the London Open highs, I wasn't feeling very confident to take a trade over here on this order block. So that's why there was no trades taken, even though it could have worked. But if you go back, I think I'm trying to see where exactly. I think there was something similar to this either this week or last week, where the market did do something like this, and instead of finding support here, it went all the way down. That's why if this if this candle would have ended around here and it didn't go all the way up here, I would have taken this trade. But because it already took the London Open highs up here, I wasn't feeling confident with the direction of the market. I felt like this was a pretty decent reversal point for the market. So even though other things were there that were valid, I couldn't take a trade because of that. So that was Monday. Monday was a no trading day. And then I had Tuesday. Now, Tuesday during the London Open, you can see that we had this sweep of liquidity over here, and then we had this market structure shift that left this imbalance over there. So I labeled my order block over there, and then I took a short for 1 to 3. Now this was a very long trade because it actually hit take profit the next day, which is Wednesday at 1:30 a.m. So this was a very this trade took a long time to materialize, but it followed all the rules, of which is a reversal type of a trade, of where we're having this sweep of liquidities. We have this market structure shift paired with an imbalance and an order block. So I took a trade for 1 to 3, and yeah, it was a good trade. And then on Wednesday, same thing again. I think let me draw these lines. So on Wednesday, you can see that we took the previous day lows, right? And then after that, we went immediately all the way to the upside. This was a market structure shift, a break of structure. Why did I think to take a buy from here? The reason why I thought of taking a buy from here going all the way upwards is because, one, we have taken the previous day low. So at this point, most of the time, I'm looking for a previous day high as my next draw on liquidity. That's number one. And then number two, you can see when the price was moving to the upside, literally there was a retracement here, but this retracement was very weak. It was a very small retracement. So I was still waiting to see a larger retracement. A larger retracement, usually it's in terms of 0.5 to 0.6% of that move. So if I don't see a 0.5 to 0.6 retracement, usually I will still be waiting to see that retracement and a move to the upside. So that was my second reason. And then my third reason to why I was still waiting for an up move from this level was also because of all these pockets of imbalance over here and then over there. All these imbalance were not retraced fully into. So that's why I was still waiting to see a price push into the upside. So yes, in London session, there was nothing, but you can see the price did retrace into this order block pre-New York. And that is where I was triggered into this trade. Now, a frustrating thing, but I find, I don't want to call it a frustrating, but the way that the price did move during this day is I actually didn't hit take profit from there. As you can see, if I pull this all the way here, price never reached take profit. It was I think a peep or even less than a peep to the take profit. So I actually closed this trade right there because according to my rules, I have to close any trades before the next day London open. So I closed it over there, and as you can see, it was for a 2-hour trade. So this was a 2-hour trade closed, and that was for Wednesday trading session. So this was another long trading. Like I opened a trade during London, and then I closed it next day, which is almost the same as this one over there. But the difference between this and that is this did hit to take profit. This one did not. I was forced to close it. Now coming on Thursday, let me take these lines again. Now coming on Thursday, it was a bit tricky during London session, but the only thing that is guiding me is following the rules. Now, how do I filter the price moves? The way I filter them is paying attention to the structure of the market. As you can see, this structure here was taken out by a little bit. It was swept by that. So this is our new high. It went all the way down. It didn't take out this low over there, right? It retraced into this imbalance, and then we had this break of this low. So this for me can be seen, or not can be seen, it is a market structure shift over there. Now, because this is a market structure shift, again, you can see that we have an imbalance there, and we have this order block over there. Now, what does the price do from here? Imagine that these lines are not here. Price does do a little bit of a retracement, but it's not enough. It pulls lower again, and then we have these huge candles before the 3 a.m. open. This candle goes all the way up, leaving also an imbalance. Now, this is not a trade for me because, again, it might be just a retracement to fill this imbalance to continue lower. And also we haven't opened the London session yet, so I had to wait here. So you can see there was this candle with that imbalance, price retraced all the way down again, right? And then after filling this imbalance to this candle, price broke up again. Now this is after 3 a.m., right? After 3 a.m., you can see that the price went all the way up again, broke this structure, broke that structure again. It had this imbalance over there, of which made my order block over here. Now this for me is a continuation trade. It's a continuation trade because we already had this market structure shift. We already had this break of structure. So now we're just following where the market is going. So that is the reason why I placed my trade over there. We had this we had this sweep. We had market structure shift, retraced and filled this imbalance, broke this structure again, leaving an area of imbalance with an order block. Took a trade for 1 to 3. Now this was a very simple short fast trade. I took this trade. I was triggered actually during London session, and I was triggered out of the trade immediately with a 9 a.m. New York Open candle. So yeah, that was a pretty nice trade. So this was trade number 3 for the week. And then Friday was a tricky because we had let me open the calendar here. So Friday it was a bit tricky because we had non-farm employment change right there at 8:30. So when I opened my charts in the morning to trade the London session, you can see we were here, right? So what did the market do? The market moved down, retraced up, and then moved down again with this rejection candle, and then it moved up, rejected again from this opening price, and then started to push down. Now this downward movement was at the beginning of the 3 a.m., the London Open. And as you can see, we had this sweep. We had this market structure shift, leaving behind this imbalance over there with this order block over there. Now, during London session, I do tend to position my order block at the candles, like the body of the candle, not the wick. But when I'm on New York session, then I usually tend to put my order block on the wick and not the body. So because this was London session, my trade was, the order block was positioned at the candle's body and not at the wick. So as you can see, the price did do a small retracement, but it never touched the body, and then it started to pull all the way down. Now, as we were continuing during this day, I realized I was not going to be in this trade because I can't trade during especially these high volatile news, especially the non-farm employment, non-farm payrolls. I usually stay away from that. So I didn't take this trade. I did not take this trade. This is a trade that I did not take. But as you can see, it would have been a 15-minute trade, because when the 8:30 hit and the news came out, the price was down here. It immediately went up to trigger the trade. And I guess this is what people usually call a sniper entry. Immediately went to hit the order block, and then it rejected and started moving to the downside. So within that 15-minute time frame, I would have been triggered into the trade, and then the trade would have been closed in profit. But because I do not trade news, I did not participate here at all. I think you can see better in 1 minute. So in 1 minute, you can see this is 8:30. This is where the news came out. Price started pushing to the upside aggressively into the order block, and then rejected immediately from there, starting pushing all the way to the downside. So if I would have been in this trade, this is how this trade would have looked like in the 1 minute time frame. In the 15-minute time frame, you can't even see, it's just a single candle. But yeah, that's the idea that I had. And this is, I think the internet is very slow. So this for me is a reversal. Is it? Yeah, it's a reversal because I had this, actually it's a continuation. Is it? Yeah. So with this type of a trade, I had the sweep, I had the market structure shift, I had this imbalance that was imbalanced paired with an order block that was never retraced into. So that's why even after this move to the downside to previous day low, I still felt like price has a chance of rejecting from this order block because it never came and found any resistance and testing this level. But because of the news, if there was no news, I would have held this trade. But because there was news, I didn't take the trade. So overall, for this particular week, there were 1, 2, 3 trades that were taken. Tuesday sells, Wednesday buys. So Tuesday sells, Wednesday partial buys, with Thursday buys. So all in all, for this particular month, these are the trades that I had. I did have some trades last week, but yeah, this was during May. So for this month of June, this is 3%, but I usually trade with 0.5, so that will make that a 1.5. And then this is 2, so that will be 2.5%. And then this is a 3, so that will be a 5.5%. So yeah, that's how the week went for me. Until next week, take care.